Social Life in Old Virginia Before the War by Thomas Nelson Page. Thomas Nelson Page was an author of short stories, novels, essays, and poetry, who is best known for his role as literary spokesman for the glories of the Old South. Born in 1853 and only 11 years old when the Civil War ended, Page, writing in the plantation genre of John Pendleton Kennedy and others, created of the antebellum South a mythical would-be land of noble gentlemen and ladies of contending slaves, a society ordered by the laws of chivalry. A descendant of the prominent but no longer wealthy Nelson Page families and a native of Virginia, Page attended Washington College and later studied at the University of Virginia for a legal career. Page married in 1886, and his wife died 2 years later. He practiced law in Richmond from 1876 until 1893, when he moved with his second wife, the former Florence Lathrop Field, to Washington. Although Page became active in the social life of the capital and later served 6 years as ambassador to Italy under Woodrow Wilson, he continued in his writing to depict Virginia and the passing of the old order there. His works, set for the most part in the South, comprised 18 volumes when they were published in a collected edition in 1912. In Old Virginia 1887, was Page's first collection of short stories treating the antebellum South. Other works dealt with later periods in Southern history. Page was consistently a proponent of the Southern way of life. Page's South, of course, was finer than any real place could ever be, but he satisfied the nostalgia of his readers for what might have been, a place where heroic men and women adhered to a code of perfect honor. Only in the 20th century would Ellen Glasgow and later the writers of the Southern literary Renaissance dispel the romantic image of the Old South, so carefully fashioned by Thomas Nelson Page. Printed in 1897 by Charles Scribner's Sons, Social Life in Old Virginia Before the War is a collection of essay-like musings on the organization and social practices of antebellum Virginia. In his introduction, Page argues that his sketch of real life of the South in old times challenges earlier fallacious accounts that misrepresent Southerners as ignorant, uncultivated, and slovenly people. His description opens with a charming image of the Southern mansion, victoriously perched on a hill, shaded by glorious oak trees, and bathed in the wafting aroma of blooming lilacs and roses. Moving outward from the plantation house, Page depicts the thriving fields of corn, the flowering orchard, as well as the bountiful vegetable and flower garden. In general, goodness and tranquility abound. Page devotes equal attention to the admirable inhabitants of the mansion, who reflects the moral perfection and godliness that permeate Page's characteristics of Southern aristocratic life. Having already provided a brief account of the external social structure governing the servants, who he indicates are referred to as slaves only in legal reports, Page presents the authoritative and devoted mammy whose importance in running the house cannot be overestimated. Other honored family members include the butler and the carriage driver. These contending servants enjoy happiness and a singular sweetness throughout their lives. Page then briefly explains Southerners partially for sports, including horse and foot races, as well as the great frolic known as fox hunting. Throughout social life, Page extols the old-fashioned Southern virtues of kindness, honor, refinement, and sincerity. Page argues not that the Old South was a perfect society, but instead suggests that its merits far outweighed its flaws. Furthermore, the South's enduring accomplishments with national and international spheres of culture and politics are a testament to its superior civilizing force. Understanding the American South. Thanks for watching.